When we asked vets about the most common mistake cat parents make, we didn't expect this. We asked dozens of vets a simple question. What's the one mistake cat parents make the most? At first, the answers were predictable, but then things took a turn. One answer kept coming up. Quiet, common, and dangerous. And most pet parents have no idea they're doing it. But before we get into that, let's count down the most common mistakes cat parents make. Join me as we count down to the big one, the number one thing vets think pet parents need to stop doing. Mistake number 5, not brushing enough. You might not have expected brushing to come up in a video about cat health. Cat grooming, maybe? But cat health, even short-haired cats can benefit from regular brushing. For long-haired breeds, it's essential, and not just because it's important from a grooming point of view, to get rid of mats and tangles. Those tangles trap dirt. It can lead to skin irritation, and in turn it can lead to infections. So yes, brushing is important for a cat's physical health. But there's more. Brushing is vital for their mental and emotional health as well. Brushing is bonding. It mimics grooming between cats. It's a moment of connection between a cat and their pet parent. And connection is vital in ensuring a cat is feeling good. Because we all need attention and affection from those we love from time to time. There are, quite literally, studies that show that very sadly, lonely humans die younger on average because of the very real impact that mental and emotional well-being can also have on your physical health. Vets say that when brushing is skipped, not only do medical issues develop quietly, but emotional opportunities are lost too. And because of the impact on physical health that bad mental and emotional health can have, that can lead to even bigger issues down the road. Mistake number 4, using food bowls that are too deep. Vets obviously have a lot of opinions on what cats eat, but did you know they also care about how cats eat? Veterinarians have a lot more opinions on bowls than you might think. In particular, bowls that are too deep. This might seem harmless, but it causes more trouble than you'd think. Deep food bowls can press against a cat's sensitive whiskers when they're just trying to get to the bottom of the bowl and munch their food. And that leads to a phenomenon known as whisker fatigue. This can make eating stressful, even painful for cats. Imagine if something dug into your face every time you tried to eat. In extreme cases, some cats stop eating altogether or only nibble because they don't want to take the pain anymore. This can lead to many pet parents misunderstanding and thinking their cat is just being picky. And while this may be the case, cats are notoriously good at being fussy and knowing what they like and don't like. It may well be that the eating process is simply too painful because of the wrong type of bowl. Veterinarians often recommend switching to shallow, wide bowls or even flat plates in order to keep whiskers free. It's a tiny gesture, but it truly does make a big difference to a cat's comfort level when eating. Dinner should always be a joyful time, never a painful one. There's more to say on food in a bit because, as you can guess, overeating makes the list. But there's a rather shocking one to explore first. Mistake number 3, overusing scented products. If you've ever wondered how cats seem to know so much of what's going on, despite the fact that they do not speak the same language as you, it's because their other senses are so much more sensitive and, by extension, powerful than yours. And what needs talking about right now is the sense of smell. Cats have an incredibly sensitive sense of smell. Take a moment to comprehend that real quick. The smell of freshly cut grass, it's 1,000 times more intense and more beautiful to your cat. But a foul odor? Just as overwhelming, maybe even unbearable. And here's the twist. Even scents you enjoy, like your shampoo or a candle, can be way too strong for your cat. What's pleasant to you might feel overpowering or even irritating to them. And this is something veterinarians warn about consistently. What smells fresh and clean to us can be overwhelming, possibly even distressing for cats. Things like scented litters, strong detergents, air fresheners, even certain essential oils are what I'm talking about here. They smell nice to us with our human noses, But when sniffed by a super powerful cat nose, these scents can irritate or even repel a cat. Some poor felines may even avoid their litter box altogether, simply because of how painful they find the smell of scented litter. And it sadly gets worse. While those scents can be painful in the sense of triggering migraine-like symptoms, certain essential oils go one step further. Things like tea tree and eucalyptus are actually toxic to cats. A pet parent might want to have them around the house for the smell, but if they are toxic to their cat, it's simply not worth it. In extreme cases, some vets have even reported cases of tremors, liver issues, and worse, all because the poor cat's pet parent from a well-intentioned diffuser. As much as many pet parents to fluffy feline friends want to bring some good sense into the home, especially given how many unpleasant odors having a cat in the first place can bring into your home, ultimately prioritizing unscented is always the way to go. Mistake number 2, free feeding without monitoring weight. All pet parents love to spoil and treat their cat, and I'm not here to pour scorn on that. It's a very hard thing to resist. Looking after and caring for those we love with constant treats is a natural impulse. So you treating your fluffy little pal, they deserve it. So do it, gosh darn it. But obesity is a very big deal for cats. That's why constantly giving your cat snacks and treats whenever they beg for them is not the way to go. Sure, now and then is fine, but while we humans can be self-aware enough to know when we might have to turn a treat down to keep an eye on our waistline, cats aren't. They need their pet parents to count the calories for them. Now you might be thinking that this seems obvious. You might be thinking that most cat owners are aware that they shouldn't treat their cats too much, and you'd be right. But there is a subsection of this that too few pet parents know, and that's that leaving their main food out all day can be just as bad. What I mean by this is the habit of leaving an overfull bowl of food out all day and trusting your cat to graze and nibble as and when they feel hungry. This is very common for someone who may live alone or be busy, because sticking to a scheduled dinner time for your cat can sometimes get in the way of them living their life. And I get that. And for what it's worth, there are many cats this works for. They only eat when they're hungry, and all is well. But some cats are on the seafood diet. If they see food, they eat it. This means that they don't pace themselves. They will gorge on the food you thought would last all day. Over time, this graze and go lifestyle leads to weight gain, lethargy, and eventually even big health conditions like diabetes or joint problems. Some cat parents assume a cat will self-regulate, but many don't. And this is especially true of indoor cats who burn fewer calories as they're not running around outside, so may feel peckish and tempted more often. This is why pretty much most vets suggest measured meals and regular weight checks, because the difference between a little pudgy and at risk isn't always easy to see on a cat. Mistake number 1, waiting too long to seek help. This is the one that chilled us, because again and again, veterinarians said the same thing. Pet parents wait too long to seek out help for their cat, not out of neglect, but out of love. Weirdly. Out of not wanting to stress out the cat. Out of thinking, they just seem a little off. Maybe she ate something weird. I'll wait and see. The problem is, and it is a very serious one, when it comes to cats, waiting can be deadly. And the best thing anyone can do for their cat is to stop being so cautious. And the even bigger problem is, cats wait longer than you do. Our feline friends hide their pain until the last possible moment, perhaps because they love us so much, they want to avoid bothering us. Or maybe they're simply too dignified and fear showing weakness, looks uncouth. But what does this mean? It means that by the time you know your cat is suffering, the situation has escalated to the point where they are in so much pain or feel so bad, they've simply given up hiding it. this means there really is no window left to wait and see if the pain goes away, because your cat already suffered through that window alone. You just didn't know it. In most cases, granted not all, but in many, the fact your cat is letting you know something is up doesn't mean they're saying, "I feel a touch off." It means, "Hey, I felt a touch off for ages now, but it has escalated. I need to see an expert." In digging around online, doing some research into this, I found a chilling quote from a vet. We had a cat brought in for just being a little quieter than usual. No vomiting, no limping, nothing dramatic. But it turned out he was suffering from kidney failure. If they waited even a day or two more. If something that can seem so small can turn out to be so big, the whole "let's just wait" approach is far from ideal. I know it can feel awkward to bother your vet, especially if your cat turns out to be fine, which, let's be clear, could also be the case. But hey, better safe than sorry. This is what all professional vets want pet parents to understand. If something feels off, the wrong thing to do is wait. Though as I say, not every odd behavior means an emergency, but the cost of caution is almost always lower than the cost of regret. A proactive pet parent is better than a reactive one. It's not easy. No one wants to believe something could be wrong, but vets see it every day. The too late appointments, the look of heartbreak, the "I wish I bought them in sooner." That's the mistake that haunted them the most. And now it haunts us too. Remember, it is the job of a vet to look after the animals. No pet parent is ever wasting their time, even if it turns out to be nothing after all. If anything, that's probably added a happy moment to a job that can be quite emotionally challenging. And that is the biggest mistake, according to professional vets, that far too many pet parents make. Though if your cat just doesn't want to hug, that's not an emergency. Though there are still some things you can do to deal with that, as this next video will explain.